Alright, everyone, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to start now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. First thing is a public hearing on property maintenance. We have 3 properties. Is Corey here?
Yes.
Alright, we're going to get Corey. 3 properties. 3 properties that we're going to maintain, or we're having a public hearing on whether the village should maintain 11 Farview Terrace, 186 Saddle River Road, and 246 Cherry Lane. Well, I'm going to make a motion to open the, or does someone want to make a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Alright, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. The public hearing is now open. Would anybody from the public like to speak on behalf of either of these 3 properties? The village is going to,
I guess we're the public.
attempt to, so, I know you're all volunteer for something, so whatever, you can stay right there. Just name and address and
Sure.
give me your, your recent story.
Sure. Laura Freeman for Raspberry Skin. We're here for REO Management Solutions regarding 11 Farview Terrace. The street address at Raspberry Skin is 900 Merchant Concourse, Westbury, New York, 11590.
Okay. So, you want to say something about the property?
Sure.
Do you want us to not maintain it for the next 9 months?
Yes, we're requesting that we be permitted to maintain it, hire contractors, and fix any situations that exist out at the property. And I do understand it's been a long-standing issue here in the town, but
How long have you guys been the property manager?
we've been involved in the case since February 28th.
Okay.
We've been involved in the case since February 28th. We appeared at the first code violation hearing on January 3rd.
Do you know Corey? Have you seen him before?
No, I just,
Okay.
hi, I spoke to you this morning.
Yes.
I was
Okay.
the one. Nice to meet you.
Okay. So how do we handle something like this? Do we just, because you haven't done anything yet, right?
They did there was a lockout on January 23rd.
Right.
And then there was some
I think this is what really led to a lot
interior
of anger,
debris
because
removal
when
that
they
You guys were
caused-
hired by the bank?
Yeah, and
Someone was
they
looking
paid $8,000 for the removal of the interior debris. They did send out someone to pull a permit to do work on the roof. Turns out that person is not licensed in Rockland County, so he was not able to pull a permit. We have to get someone else to do. There's roofing work, there's exterior wall work,
There's a
and
lot
there's a
of
window.
there's a lot of work to go on there. All that was done there so far was the interior was pulled out.
They left the mess on the front lawn. The pictures.
Yeah, it's right
No,
here. It's
all I'm
it's
aware
snow
of-
covered now, so I took that
Right.
photo last week.
Right, all I'm aware of is interior debris removal after the lockout, but
Okay.
no exterior debris removal.
Yeah, because that's what it looks like without the snow, which is again is the reason for this public hearing. So,
Is it, you can add as a dead cat.
Is there
we postpone adjourn the public
Yeah.
hearing, keep it open for like the
I
next meeting or something, or 2 weeks.
It's there.
I'm an animal
Okay.
lover, so that.
I actually had a different thought. Why don't we move to authorize it, right? Move to authorize it by March 21st, with the work to commence by March 21st, unless they commence it. That we wouldn't have to have another hearing.
And on this one, it would just be specific as to, it's just the cleaning up the
Exterior
front-
debris.
The exterior debris, and Belleville, the small job, Belleville can just do that under our contract.
Right.
We have to give them time to do it themselves, or else they'll.
Yeah, let them handle it. So.
Do you need to have it cleaned up by the 21st?
Of March?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. So I would move to authorize the village to clean it up on or after March 21st.
On
In
or
fact,
before?
property, what's that?
On or before?
On or after.
Oh, gotcha.
In order to allow them time
Yes.
to take action on it. Probably not.
I'll second
Okay.
it.
We'll have, hold on a second. Before we do all that, that's the note for that one. So we'll do on or after March 21st. Because we'll just do it all together.
Right.
Because then we have, okay, would you like to say anything else?
No, I just, and
Okay.
then we
So
come
you're okay
back-
with that for 11 Farview? You're okay with the 21st or after?
Yes,
you guys
for
all clean it up?
exterior debris, absolutely.
Okay. So then,
For
alright,
us,
that's
the
okay with you
town,
too?
Right,
Okay.
the interior is a whole nother animal.
Yeah, but I don't know if we
That's,
can- I don't know if we're allowed
that's
to.
construction work, that you need a permit.
Right, but I was gonna
That's
suggest
not
prior to any of that,
I don't think we're allowed to. We're not allowed to maintain that.
no, but
You're allowed to
a
write
building-
violations, but
Lou should definitely go in there, and he may want to suggest an engineer go in there because the amount of time that water's been seeping in, this,
Years.
that's a lot
yeah,
of
you don't want to talk to
structural-
her because
There's gotta be a lot of
she's maintaining
structural
it,
damage in there.
You gotta,
know,
you
not-
gotta exchange
not
cards.
just sheetrock.
So, okay. And Mr. Moran.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. 11 Farview.
So my question is, the property was abandoned and not maintained for years.
Years.
How did your office get involved with it? Who contacted you?
My understanding is when Broad Street Funding became the owners. I believe there was a foreclosure
Okay,
action.
so it was the
upon-
bank, the mortgage?
Yes, Ernestine Small, is her name?
Okay.
And the property was foreclosed on. They did a lockout. The ownership changed. I don't know if Mrs. Smalls passed away or moved away. But,
And it was being used, it was being occupied from when to when?
you know what? I was just told there was a lockout on January 23rd. So
Which means they got whoever was in there out,
whoever was in there out.
so as recently
locked
as
out.
January 23rd?
Yes. I was told it was occupied in December and January.
Okay.
But that's,
Well,
our
yeah.
involvement began in
Oh, I was living there.
I hope
Okay.
not.
Thank you.
Crazy. Okay, Mr. Moran,
Yes,
when you're here for 186 Saddle River.
good evening.
Okay.
Kenneth Moran, 11 North Airmont Road, Suffolk, New York. It's actually Airmont, but that's my address. In case you're sensitive, I know some people are sensitive. My client is the congregation Mostos Abraham, and they have a school at that location. And they were cited, and they were in justice court for, it appears that there was a large quantity of wood chips and dirt and mulch dumped there. It was dumped without my client's permission. So they were cited for that. It's pending in justice court now. I believe the trial is beginning of April
Is this just for the ticket?
or beginning of March.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Do you remember, Sean, when the trial is?
I
I think it's the beginning of May.
Okay.
Anyway, trial has been scheduled on that matter, the same issue. And there was a landscaper contractor who was also cited for dumping the wood chips and mulch. He's actually admitted in court that he did it. He doesn't claim he did all of it, but he did claim he did dump wood chips and mulch, which was the violation was for. But when it was inspected, it appears that there's a large volume of this material dumped at my site. It's been, I guess, leveled off because there was a depression there where it was dumped, and it would take a lot of work to get it out of there. So we contacted Civil Tech Engineering in Suffolk. Give us a proposed plan. The village wanted us to come up with a plan to get rid of it, which they did. Just the evaluation of the situation and the plan so far has been over $3,500. I contacted a contractor who went over there to ask him to inspect it and give me an estimate of how much it would cost to remove it. And he told me it was the minimum of $75,000, depending on how far and where the stuff that was removed has to be dumped. And you never know in advance. There's no one place that you can dump something like that. So there have to be arrangements made we have to find out, but he estimated that the minimum would be $75,000.
Approximately how many yards is this?
I believe they said 4,000 cubic yards.
Wait a minute. Hold on a
My
second.
God.
Hold on a second.
This had to have taken years or months.
I have a
Months
question.
of
Yes.
dumping.
This is like an operating school?
Yes.
So this is an operating school. Just bear with me for a second.
I
I
have
apologize,
reports
I
from
didn't-
Brooker Engineering.
I didn't go by there, so.
I have some numbers from Brooker Engineering.
Alright, hold on,
Hold
let's.
on. It's an operating school. People are there, right? Okay. And 4,000 cubic yards. That's
No, yeah.
200 18-wheelers. Each one of those are 20 yards, right?
20.
And this all happened in what period of time? No one.
No one knows what period of time it was. It was over a period of time. Nobody knows what.
No one said, "Hey, this guy's illegally dumping. These tractor trailers are backing up my driveway and dumping
Well, I don't
hundreds
know.
of yards of
I don't know
dirt."
how it was done, okay? I became interested, and after the fact, it was already done. Since then, I have located a property owner in the neighborhood who's responsible for a lot of the dumping. I'm not going to name him tonight because we're going to commence litigation against him, and I don't want to name him at this point. But shortly, you'll have the name. We believe he should be prosecuted for a great amount of that volume. And to dump in where he dumped, you don't have to go through our property.
Oh, that was another question. Is there
Yes.
some back way that?
Yes.
How big
Okay.
is the property? The
An
187?
acre and a half, acre and a quarter, something like that.
Again, not a big, we're
Not
not talking
huge.
dozens of acres, we're
No,
talking
not
about
huge.
40,000 cubic yards, I think would probably be noticeable.
4,000.
Cubic yards.
200 trucks.
I agree. I'm not, not
I mean,
arguing.
it's noticeable is my point. It would have been noticeable from
Somebody would have known.
Orange County.
Okay. The school, I don't think it was involved in or interested in anything going outside of the school business, to be honest with you. I think that's all they were concentrating on. I don't know if they were aware of it, if they weren't aware of it. They said nobody gave them permission to dump there, and they weren't aware of it. And that's the situation we're left with. I had Civil Tech engineers contact Eve Mancuso from the village engineer to see if they can come up with the best plan how to address it at this point.
Spread it out.
Yeah, that's a lot of dirt.
And isn't a drainage culvert?
Oh, so it's
So
going
it
to
was
cause
a drainage
issues.
culvert, which is now been filled in.
We would like to just, obviously they would like to just take it out of there and spread it out.
Right.
But that's what has to be reviewed now, whether, it doesn't have to be removed, it wouldn't be as expensive.
Right. That's what I was
Right.
thinking too.
So they're exploring that possibility. And we need some more time to work with the village engineer to come up with the best way to handle it. My client said they're not happy about it, but they will pay for it, but obviously they gotta get reimbursed. I mean, this is ridiculous if somebody comes along and dumps something on your property illegally, and then you gotta clean it up. Now, if it's a couple $100 or something like that, you pick up garbage, that's one thing, but when it comes to these kind of numbers, and the contractor said 75,000, that would be the minimum, could be a lot more depending where it has to be trucked off site, and how far it has to be trucked, because every time the truck is away, they can't fill it up, and if it's, a good distance before they can dump it, it would take a long time, before the truck can come back.
Have you looked at this?
Oh yeah, I found it.
And does this all make sense to you?
I'm trying to picture it. I drove past this place the other day.
This is the school that's like right
It's
next
back
to the
corner,
thruway,
right?
right?
86,
Yeah.
when they
The
went-
thruway is on
By the
like almost
thruway.
on the property.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
it's
backs
like,
up to Algonquin Circle.
Alright.
And,
And where was it? In the back?
Yeah, it's a big culvert.
So you
down
think it was
there.
going through Algonquin Circle? Someone was dumping?
No, park. You could see all the
No.
most of the curbing is all broken and blown out from the trucks dumping. Lou was there when they came and dumped, and the people at the school actually stopped the truck from leaving because they weren't, they wanted it to stop as well. They went as far as telling me that they had camera footage of them dumping,
Okay.
but they weren't willing to go forward and using it. I don't know why, but the school said that they wanted this to stop.
Alright.
Alright, well,
But they're not the owner, the school aren't,
Well,
is
listen,
not
I
the
mean,
owner of
we
the
gotta give
property.
them an opportunity to
yes.
clean it up, but.
So the dumping started last spring. We were in court back in October, and we asked them to clean it up by, the end of the year.
Okay.
We're now getting into the spring.
Oh,
Corey
I see what's happening.
Corey has
Okay.
met with the property owner of Algonquin, and their yards are flooded because of this.
Oh, jeez.
So something has to be done before.
So that's the reason for bringing this to a public hearing is that we're now going on 9 months, 8 months, and it still hasn't been resolved.
What kind of time frame can you give us that you think it might
My
be
client told me
addressed?
today, 90 days, 3 months.
Okay.
The code enforcer made a good point. The school is not the owner,
Sure.
so I don't think they would care, although he said they did want it to
It
stop.
could have been the owner, or I understand what you're saying. So.
You know, we were all aware of the situation. They probably didn't want to get involved. They probably didn't,
If they didn't own the property, why would they? Yeah.
Right, they're not the property owner,
And if it wasn't
they're a
impeding
school.
their access
Yeah.
to the property at all, I guess they would.
But there's another
Yeah.
location where dumping occurred, which is
Mhm.
a good portion of this amount, actually more than half of it, which came in through another property,
Okay.
which I'll go over with
So
Sean.
I could see from the satellite, it looked like the backyard to me might touch.
There was some other
Could that be?
dumping, and that other location, the only way to get there is through somebody's other property's yard.
So this is school here. It looks like maybe the backyard's here touched somewhere. Ah.
Yeah.
Could we do the same here and then do a 90-day thing?
And with this, given the cost, we'd have to go out to bid.
Okay.
So
Oh,
which
then-
itself would take time.
Okay.
So if you want to set it up same sort of way, some period of time, it's not done, we can then go out to bid.
Okay. So then, would that be okay with you if we waited 90 days and then?
Yes, we
Initiated.
also spent a lot of money already,
Mhm.
just, analyzing the situation. You bid for somebody, they're gonna start all over again and be double billing
sure.
for the same.
Oh no, we're just. I'm trying to work with you
Right.
here. If that's what you think 90 days, you can work with it.
That's what I was told my client. It may
Sure.
take longer to do that, depends on what we work out with the village engineer
Mhm.
about getting rid of them as well. If we could leave it on site, that would make a big difference. It's
Well-
gotta be moved from where it is.
You got to work with Eve, obviously. If it's, if it's causing people a flooding issue, I feel bad. Well, the owner hired you, right? Not the school.
The owner.
The school, or the owner hired
Yes.
you. So I feel bad for the owner if he doesn't know what's going on. But we can't. I guess well, that's property. We can only deal with our stuff. We can't deal with the flooding from other houses, can we? That's a private property
That's a
issue.
private property issue.
So-
They could bring a claim against.
You guys might have a problem with them. We're not gonna.
Right.
Ours is only the property
Property
maintenance, strictly. Okay. All right. So then,
Hopefully they can get it, done in around that
sure. So
time period.
So first, so June 1st, I guess.
Yep.
Well, okay. What happens if
Report.
it doesn't get done?
Like we said, we make it to even the 90 days to get it done. They'll work with Corey and Eve.
And what if it doesn't get done?
Then we go out for bid, like you just said. Then we go out for bid and get it done.
You get it done, and then just attach it to whatever property.
Right. But I'm sure if something's happening, we're not in the rush to. We're not in the business of maintaining people's property, so
Especially
I'm
this-
sure
this
if
is not-
something is happening.
Yeah, this is not picking up garbage, this is a major
Alright,
job.
fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure if something is happening, it's not going to be a what's it called? We're not going to be like, oh,
And
go
you
out for
already-
bid right now, So,
And you said you already know who one of the perpetrators already is, so you're gonna.
Actually,
end up-
2 of them.
So you're gonna end up going over, I'm gonna say it, going after them to.
We have no
recoup
choice.
costs.
We don't want to, they don't have, first of all, they don't have that kind of money to spend on something.
Your owners, yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Got it. Are there violations on this?
Yes, we're in court.
Okay.
The areas roughly 100 by 75 by 10 feet deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
How big? I'm sorry.
That's like
How much?
100 by 75 by 10 feet deep.
Well,
good.
Keep the school going on.
It's their, it basically became almost like a playground, and we advised them it's not safe to play in a pile of whatever this is, mulch, everything. You may have a hollow spot where kids can fall through. It does sit pretty high off where the dumping happens, so kids can fall. But
Where's the curb all broken up? You mentioned.
in the back corner
Of what
where the
streets?
parking lot meets like this, and the curbs are blown out from a heavy truck running over.
But on 186 on
On
the
the,
property.
Yes, on their property.
Now, some of it had to be done from the back of the parking lot, on our property.
So from
That's
where?
what it
From
looks
what
like
street?
from the
do you-
From Saddle River Road.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So they got access from Saddle River
I
Road
believe that's the only way they
through
can
a
access.
different property
Yeah.
onto.
I don't think on that particular spot, you couldn't access it any other way.
Right, because it's through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then why don't we just do that? We'll just amend the motion to take effect on June 4th. June 4th. Where is it? Oh, you have a whole thing here by 186, huh? Go on.
Yeah, so let's build
Okay.
build a time frame.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so then alright, so we're good, we'll go to June
Okay,
4th.
thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, so then you're June 4th, you're March 21st.
yes,
And nobody's here for 246, I imagine? What about 246? It's across the street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it this way or
Right there to the right hand side.
it's the
The bottom
house?
That's the barn, right?
the corner house?
Yes.
With
So
that's
if
been
you're-
abandoned for a long time?
Mhm.
The barn,
Okay.
it looks like an
It's
old
got a lake
barn.
on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Dean Joaquin's house, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I think
Okay.
so, because it used to be an old barn.
Yeah. Okay.
That property has.
Nobody's here for that, so.
Yeah.
They had a fire or something.
No, I don't
No?
think there
Something.
is. Okay. So Sean, would it be, would you be able to amend it for the dates that we discussed?
Yep.
Alright, so then who wants to make a motion to approve, village to maintain the following properties: 11 Farview Terrace, 186 Saddle, it should say East Saddle River Road. Right, East Saddle River Road it is, right? Not West Saddle River. It's just a Saddle
south of
River.
the thruway. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
think
where it
it's
breaks
east,
up.
it's East Saddle River Road and 246 Cherry Lane. With the amended dates of 11 Farview Terrace not to take place until March 21st or thereafter, and 186 Saddle River Road amended for no action to take place until June 4th or thereafter. So, we good with that?
Good with that, I'll make that motion.
Oh wait, we should probably make a motion to close the public hearing first. Sorry, motion to close the public hearing first.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and then motion to approve the resolution as I stated before,
I'll make that motion.
the amended resolution.
I'll still make that motion.
I'll second.
Anyone a second? Kevin?
Yeah.
Alright, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Ayes have it. Thank you
I
for
just have
coming
a
out.
question. 246 is just standard
Standard, send Belleville.
I'd
Right.
have to double check the court records, but from off the top of my head, you have landscaping maintenance and garbage and debris maintenance. I could get
So
much more
Belleville.
technical than that, but I wanted to start somewhere with at least making it look presentable.
Alright, so send Litter Patrol over, have them do the garbage for the, I'm sure it should be more than a day, and then send Belleville to maintain the wall. Well, now it's all covered in snow, so you have to wait till probably another week.
Have to wait till next week for the whole amount.
Exactly. Okay, let's move along.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question
Uh,
for the report.
Yeah, sure.
Hey
shoot.
Corey, just real quick, with all the snow, I mean, it's probably gotten a foot plus over the last week, right? And I know it's melting at pretty fast rate throughout the day. But are you heading out and just looking at making sure the sidewalks at exist
I
are
have-
being,
I have lists of certain houses that are not really following the rules.
okay,
So every time I drop off, I make a copy of the actual code, I put it in their mailbox, I write the address and date when I did it, and I go back and check the next snowstorm, next snowstorm. If it's not there, then I write that address down again, and then I put it in the system. I at least give them a chance to clear it before, for a violation.
because the Airmont Road where Munson intersects.
Right.
Okay. South of there typically gets done. North of there toward 59, I don't
Okay.
believe I've seen it done at all this season.
Okay.
So if you just
Okay.
check out that area around Munson, Munson on Airmont Road. Thank you.
Thanks, Corey. I was gonna put public comment here, but no one's here, so. And I think we forgot public comment for the first. There's no public comment in here, but, alright, let's go to the next one. Cancel the March 18th Board of Trustees meeting. I think we're in agreement that we're gonna just keep that on as a placeholder.
Yep.
Right, okay,
Agreed.
so forget that. These are the things we spoke about last week, these next three. So one is to enter into the, agreement with ThyssenKrupp Elevator.
Right.
At a cost of $700 an hour, but not to exceed $5,000. Again, these are recommended. We've been mulling around this for a while. The second one, it says execute and village to enter into agreement with ThyssenKrupp to maintain the elevator. So the first one's to fix it, the second one's to maintain,
Correct.
and the third one is
The third one is the third party.
oh, inspections, because you can't
Inspection.
inspect your own work. Gotcha. Okay. So we got all three of those. So do we have a motion for the first one to authorize the mayor to execute and the village to enter into an agreement with the ThyssenKrupp Elevator Corporation to maintain the elevator?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That was the one for $700 an hour. Okay, second one is the 150 for the maintenance. So motion for the second one
I'll make that motion.
for $150 per month pursuant to bronze service agreement.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And the third one, authorizing mayor and village to enter into agreement with Lift Tech Limited for elevator inspection and witnessing services.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
What was that? $385?
Yeah. 385.
Motion second, any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, on the 13th, we have the DOT meeting here. They are going to discuss the stuff I've been talking about with the additional ways to make Route 59 safe. It's going to be downstairs in the community center. So they asked, they're a government agency. Already spoke to Sean about this. This is okay for us to do. It's good for the whole community. It's not just Airmont. Everybody is invited throughout Roanoke, I guess, or at least along 59. They wouldn't expect anybody in Pomona.
Who's this? Okay.
It's being run by the DOT. Actually, it's being run by the DOT consultant. That's the name.
No, that's my question.
All right. So they asked if we would waive the $200 rental fee for them.
I'll make that motion.
Well,
Second.
all right. Motion second. Discussion.
The only question I have about this is, that's fine, but who's gonna take care of the parking when if you get a lot of people here and you can't fit in the parking lot? How is that gonna be handled?
That's a good question.
And who's gonna be responsible for it?
Well, I think you always do it. Park on blocks and blocks. So
But are people from somewhere else in Rutland County or
they
whatever?
don't imagine
They don't imagine
more than
10
like
people?
50 people coming or 40 people coming. We've had that many people here before, so
Okay.
really, I mean, you would only come here if you had an actual suggestion to see what
I understand, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's a valid question. Any more discussion?
No?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Can you
Motion
decide
carries.
who moved that and?
Yeah.
Paul moved it, Anthony
Oh.
seconded. Okay, this is mosquito control. We do this every year. 29 North Lorna gets mosquito control from the county, and we enter into a intergovernmental agreement, so, how much does that cost?
$625.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a motion for that?
29, that's in the circle right at the end, right?
29 is, closer to us, is by the, by where the park is.
Oh, okay, yeah, alright.
It's probably for the water back there.
Yep.
It's for the stagnant water back there.
Yep,
And it
yep.
Alright,
actually ends up across 59. Yes.
alright, so motion, well, and it's required by sanitary code.
Correct.
Motion to approve,
I'll make the motion.
Second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, Lee, you wanna explain this one? We have a resident that paid for a permit and never did anything with it?
There's a letter here from the building inspector. So the resident came in and requested a refund of his fees, stating that his application was held up due to the moratorium. So Lou evaluated the file that was submitted on February 7th of 2017. It was a major addition to a single-family house. There were issues with information that were received from the beginning. Specifications and data were missing on both the site plan and the architecturals. Requests were made for the missing information. The updated information was never received. The addition was for 2,334 square feet on an 1,104 square foot house. So when the moratorium went into effect, then less than a month later, without a valid permit, the application was stopped by the moratorium.
The application was stopped by whom?
By the moratorium. This was, I believe this gentleman came in
Yes.
He did.
in front of the board, then tried to appeal. Right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe he did.
Yeah, okay. Right?
He's
Lou doesn't think
tripling
so.
the size of the house.
And didn't we grant that? We
Yes,
granted
we
it,
did.
right? And he, well, when granted, he still has to go back, he still do all the things he needs to do.
Right. All the granting did was allow them to move forward.
Correct.
If this is the same person, they were allowed to go forward.
Right.
But they decided not to.
But now he's
So I
sitting there
think-
and saying that he still didn't do anything, so he wants his money back.
Alright. And there's a board resolution from 2014 which
Yeah.
provides for this.
Yeah.
I move that.
Provides for what?
Provides, authorizes
Okay, that's like a
the building
building.
inspector to look at the
simple.
file, recommend a reasonable cost for the work that was done on it,
Did they
and
pay
then
for it?
reimburse the rest.
Well, is that's my question. Like, there was time and effort spent on it, so
Yeah.
is this like a compromise we're coming to, or?
Well, there's a $25 processing fee, and
Yeah,
then the
$20.
assessment by the building inspector for time. So
Got it.
he's saying,
Okay, that's fair.
And he's
Yeah.
allowed,
So it's,
according
the
to.
permit costs less to, 225,
Okay.
right?
That's fair.
So make
Alright.
1331.25.
1331, yes.
Right, so we're reimbursing 1331.25.
mhm.
Alright, let's make that motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we got, are we talking, this is executive session. Vouchers. Motion to approve the vouchers, in the amount of $186,739.70.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second
Alright, any
If you-
discussion?
it. Did he be signed?
You're the last.
Ow! This thing underneath, they just need it.
Any more discussion?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Did everybody say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. And minutes. A motion to approve the minutes of the last
And I wasn't
meeting.
here.
Anthony and Kevin weren't here, so.
Alright, I'll make the motion, because I was here and Cole was here, but you don't
Second.
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 Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion to go into executive session. Discuss the employment history of a particular individual and potential litigation.
I'll make that motion.
8:06.
I'll make
Second.
that motion, yeah.
Alright, any more discussion? All in favor?
Alright.
Aye, motion carries. We're in executive session.
No.
Close the doors.
Actually, we'll have Corey here. Can you close the door for a sec, Corey?
I'm glad Corey's